you know they back messing with my guy, Anon Saeed. Yes, heard that his request for the keep it where they throwing out the trial was denied. I don't know what's going to happen now in regards to that, because the reason why they threw it out initially when I was talking about was because of the evidence. DNA had cleared him. It did not link him to the scene. The evidence, period, the prosecutors, they threw it out. They didn't think they could have a case. But of course, you know, it got brought back up. The brother was not pleased that he was not contacted in a timely manner, and he was not able to attend this hearing that he had, in which his sentence was thrown out. So I don't know what's going to happen. I keep this brother prayed up and everything else like that, because that would be so tragic if in any kind of way they find a way to put this man back in jail. I don't think that it's going to happen because, right, the prosecutors threw it out, and it's really, really sad that, like Monty was mentioning, like, what power or whatever this brother had. I understand somebody, victims of the family, or, you know, victims and the family of the victim want to be acknowledged, and they don't, you know, want to be outed out of any of these processes. But what I'm not understanding, just like how the brother was saying, I seen him say something like, yeah, if he's innocent, then that's what it is. It shouldn't mean nothing for them to go back through the whole process and to deem him innocent and whatever else like that. But that's what they were saying when they threw the case out. I guess they ain't come out and say he innocent, he ain't do it, but they say that, yeah, it don't make no sense. The DNA didn't match him. It's other stuff that wasn't going on or whatever when he got sentenced to it. So they threw it out. They vacated the sentence. And that's what it is. But because he didn't get called,
there was a couple lies being told too.
Yeah,
by some of the detectives.
It was a whole bunch of lies being told.
I'm just going out there with some lies being told by some of the detectives that didn't line up. And then it's not like this case is being reinvestigated. That's not what's happening. You're talking about a re-prosecution. It's just a representation of the evidence
that they already have.
And then it's just going to be in front of a new jury that now is completely unfamiliar with this case, because this was now 20 plus years ago that we're talking about, that you're now trying to have him tried in the public eye of today and not the public eye of yesterday or 20 years ago.
And you know, back then too, 20-something years ago, you know, when they were trying this case, you know, it was a lot of controversy that was surrounding, like, you know, they really pushed forward because of his religion, you know, different things that enabled with even his father, you know, was against even coming to anything because they felt like they were being judged because of their religious garment and things like that.
Because that was right around the time of 9/11, correct.
Yep. So he did not want to attend. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on too. And Baltimore City with like a lot of, you know, Korean and, you know, different nationalities that was owning business here, I guess, being assaulted and different things like that. So people were saying that this trial had a lot of political and bias.
There's a lot too about being able to, if the prosecutors are saying, look, we can't do this, we can't prove this beyond the benefit of the doubt. That's what that is saying. We're not going to be able to prosecute this to get the guilty plea beyond the benefit of the doubt.
Yes. And it's really sad because, you know, for the most part, Anon Saeed, he has been really, you know, been low. Patient. He hasn't really been out there.
There's a lot of patience coming from him because this is 20 years of his life he's lost. And the final impact of this is not going to be against him. It's not going to be against the family. It's going to be against the city and the state, because that's who he's going to sue if it comes down to him being found not guilty or these charges just being dropped. Somebody's got to pay for his 20 years.
Yes. And just like I said, I didn't see, you know, like initially when he got out, because for the most part, he's been quiet. He's done a couple of seminars, I think up in Georgetown University, of course, with the Innocent Project and the people who actually helped him get his freedom and everything else like that. So I just don't know. I don't know where they're going with that. And you know, the basis of it, I guess, the judge who had thrown it out was this, it's coming off the basis of that the brother did not get proper notification. and he could not attend the hearing. So Saeed's lawyers were basically saying, well, what difference would that would have made? I don't think they were trying to be insensitive to the family of the victim and their rights, of course, to be involved in any of the process of this hearing. But they're like, okay, even if he did and he was on what would his presence or his notification, what would have changed for those mere facts that it was thrown out because of the lack of evidence and this DNA that cleared him from which was not an option back then. Of course, they didn't have this technology that they have now that about the DNA testing and everything else like that. So I'm just not really understanding that. What the judge who went back on the ruling, I'm not understanding it. I'm really at a loss of words about it. And it's really sad because just like you said with them 20 years or whatever, and it's just like it won't leave them alone. It just keep coming back. Now, can you imagine that doing 20 years in the jail for something that you did not do, and then getting just by the grace of God, one day it gets thrown out, not just only by the grace of God, but of course the work from these people who kept it alive. That Serial podcast what kind of gave it the world recognition that it had. I spoke about the HBO series that they did that kind of came from that. And I watched that. That's how I found out more information about it and got really interested in it to start following it. And I believe that he didn't do it either. But just to think, he got out. Now he's trying to spend whatever precious time that he can with his family, those who are still left, because there was a lot of changes in that time. I don't think, thankfully so, that even one of his parents had passed away, but they're older. They're dealing with their own health issues and everything else. And the man just want to enjoy life that was snatched from him. And then you just got this that keep him going back and forth. And then the brother, him saying it shouldn't be nothing if he's innocent. I get it. Someone killed your sister and you want them to pay. But I wonder if he's ever got the privilege to look at the HBO series or if whatever. Like, I wonder, because with all this stuff that was crazy about it anyway, you know what I mean? It was basically the police officers, the prosecutors, however, that of course put it in the family head that he did it. So they believe that he really did this. But if you really go and look at all of the facts and see it, like, how do it add up? Like, he wasn't even, I believe, going with Ming Hing Lee. I think that's her name, excuse me, because rest in peace, because it still is somebody that is deceased. So it's not no shuns at her family or at her at all. But I know that he wasn't even dating her when this had happened. She had another boyfriend. I'm telling y'all gotta go look at it. It's real interesting and run through it. And my whole thought after I seen the series and stuff like that was like, how they, like, yeah, they just put it on him because they wanted him to do it for whatever reason. So I'm like, I don't get it. But of course, I'm gonna keep my eyes open. Like I always tell y'all, keep your eyes open at, because it is gonna be a sad day. Like we always say, it's so many sad days in the justice system, and for whatever reason, they run this all through the courts again, through the court system, wasting taxpayers' money to run this back through. And you have prosecutors who vacated the sentence who say that they don't have the evidence to prosecute it. And for, I guess, the judge on his ruling now of not denying that it remains vacated or whatever. I just don't know what the process is. They're going to go back to a trial? Like, what is going to be done? It's kind of like forcing prosecutors to prosecute a case that they say is unprosecutable. Like, wow, the evidence shows that it was not this man. So let's keep our prayers in the midst for him, because that is what's going on. Some other issues.